The moment you saw these words, your heart may have reacted before your mind could understand why. 3 minutes. That is what the message says. And somehow, out of everything you could have been watching, reading, or thinking about, you arrived here. But this is not a countdown meant to frighten you. It is a reminder that some words become important because we finally hear them at the exact moment our heart is ready. And tonight, imagine that someone you loved deeply, someone whose absence still creates a silence no one else can fill, could sit beside you for just 3 minutes. What would they say? Would they talk about the day they left? Would they explain everything you never understood? Would they tell you about the tears you cried when nobody was watching? Or would they simply look into your eyes and say, "I need you to start living again"? Because that is where this message begins. You have carried something for far too long. A memory. A regret. A question. Maybe even words you never had the opportunity to say. And there are nights when that unfinished conversation returns. You wonder what they would think of the person you have become. You wonder whether they would be proud of you. You wonder whether they knew how deeply you loved them. And perhaps the hardest question has always been, did they know? Did they know how much they meant to you? Did they know that losing them changed you? Did they know that sometimes you still remember the smallest things? Their voice. Their laugh. The way they looked at you. The ordinary moments that seemed meaningless back then but became priceless after they were gone. Listen closely. If love could answer that question, the answer would be simple. Yes. Real love does not require perfect final words to have been real. You did not need one perfect goodbye. You did not need one final conversation. You did not need to know that the last time would actually be the last time. What mattered was everything that came before it. And there is something else you need to hear. You have been blaming yourself for something. Maybe nobody knows. Maybe you have never spoken about it. But somewhere inside you lives the thought, I should have done more. I should have called. I should have stayed longer. I should have noticed. I should have said something. I should have hugged them one more time. I should have forgiven sooner. I should have apologized. I should have known. But you were human. You were living inside a moment without knowing how the story would unfold. You cannot punish yesterday's version of yourself for not knowing tomorrow. Read that again in your heart. You cannot punish yesterday's version of yourself for not knowing tomorrow. And if the person you loved could speak into that guilt, perhaps the words you most need would be, put it down. Not the memories. Never the memories. Put down the punishment. Because remembering someone is love. Destroying yourself because they are gone is not. There is a difference. And this is where the message becomes deeper. There was a moment recently when you almost gave up on something. Not necessarily your entire life. Maybe a dream. A relationship. A plan. A new beginning. You became tired of waiting. Tired of disappointment. Tired of trying to remain strong while everything seemed delayed. And a thought whispered, why keep trying? But imagine the person you miss hearing that question. Imagine them sitting across from you. Would they tell you to surrender everything you still have? Or would they remind you how much life remains unfinished? There are places you have not visited. People you have not met. Laughs you have not laughed. Doors you have not opened. Prayers you have not seen answered. Morning sunlight you have not felt. Songs you have not discovered. Conversations that will change you. And one day, perhaps sooner than you expect, you may understand why you had to keep going through this particular chapter. Because your story did not end when theirs did. That realization can hurt. But it can also set you free. You are allowed to continue. You are allowed to smile without feeling guilty. You are allowed to celebrate. You are allowed to love again. You are allowed to build something beautiful. You are allowed to have days when you don't cry. None of those things erase the person you lost. Your happiness does not betray them. Your healing does not forget them. Your future does not delete your past. It carries it differently. And now comes the revelation you may not have expected. The greatest way to honor someone you loved is not to remain permanently trapped inside the worst day of your relationship with them. It is to carry forward the best of them. Think about one quality they had. Maybe kindness. Maybe courage. Maybe humor. Maybe loyalty. Maybe generosity. Maybe they could make everyone laugh. Maybe they protected their family. Maybe they believed in you when you didn't believe in yourself. Whatever that quality was, carry it forward. That is how love continues influencing the world. Not through fear. Through what you choose to become. Part 2. Now the final part of this message begins. And this is the part your heart may remember tomorrow. There is something you have been postponing. You know exactly what it is. A decision. A conversation. A dream. A promise to yourself. Maybe you keep saying, someday. Someday I'll start. Someday I'll forgive. Someday I'll call them. Someday I'll change. Someday I'll stop being afraid. Someday I'll finally choose myself. But losing someone teaches one uncomfortable truth. Someday is never guaranteed. That doesn't mean you should live frightened. It means you should live awake. Tell people you love them while they can hear you. Forgive where forgiveness is healthy. Walk away where staying destroys your peace. Take photographs. Make memories. Call your parents. Hug your children. Sit with the people you love without staring at your phone. Listen when someone is speaking. Say thank you. Say I'm sorry. Say I love you. Because ordinary moments become extraordinary memories faster than we realize. And perhaps that is the real urgency behind these 3 minutes. Not that something terrible will happen when the clock reaches 0. But that another 3 minutes of your life will have passed. Then another. Then another. Time keeps moving. So what will you do with yours? The person you miss had a limited number of mornings. So do all of us. That fact should not make you terrified. It should make you intentional. You have spent enough time questioning whether you deserve another beginning. You do. You have spent enough time believing one painful chapter defines your entire story. It doesn't. You have spent enough time waiting for permission to become the person you know you can become. Stop waiting. And imagine one final conversation. Just you and them. No crowd. No noise. No unfinished business. They look at you exactly as you remember them. And you finally get to ask the question you have carried. What do you want me to do now? Imagine the answer. Live. You ask again. But how can I move forward without you? And the answer comes. Moving forward doesn't mean leaving love behind. You whisper. I still miss you. And they answer. You can miss me and still have a beautiful life. Then you confess the thing you have hidden. I thought healing meant forgetting you. And the answer becomes the sentence your heart needed. No. Healing means remembering me without losing yourself. That is the message. Remember without losing yourself. Love without imprisoning yourself. Grieve without believing grief is the only connection you have left. Because your memories are bigger than your sadness. Think about that. Your relationship was not only the ending. It was every laugh before it. Every conversation. Every ordinary afternoon. Every celebration. Every disagreement you eventually forgot. Every meal. Every joke. Every time their presence made the world feel slightly different. Don't allow one goodbye to erase thousands of hellos. That may be the most important revelation in this entire message. The ending is not the whole story. And neither is your painful season. Your current chapter is not your entire life. There is still more. More love. More purpose. More discovery. More healing. More unexpected joy. And yes, there may still be tears. Healing isn't pretending you never hurt. It is discovering that pain and hope can exist inside the same heart. So tonight, make one promise. Not to this video. Not to a countdown. Make it to yourself. I will not waste the life I still have by believing that my best days are permanently behind me. Because somewhere ahead is a version of you who survived this season. That version of you sleeps more peacefully. Breathes more deeply. Smiles without immediately feeling guilty. Talks about the person you lost and remembers beautiful things before remembering the pain. You are walking toward that person. Slowly. Sometimes painfully. But you are moving. And before this message ends, there is one more thing. Think of the person you love in heaven. Picture their face. Remember their voice as clearly as you can. Now imagine telling them everything. Tell them about your life. Tell them what changed. Tell them what you achieved. Tell them what broke your heart. Tell them about the moments you wished they were beside you. And then imagine saying, I'll be okay. Maybe not today. Maybe not completely tomorrow. But someday, those words will become true in a way you cannot currently imagine. I'll be okay. There is strength inside that sentence. There is permission inside it. There is love inside it. And there is no betrayal inside it. You are allowed to be okay. So when you leave this message, don't leave carrying fear. Leave carrying urgency of a different kind. The urgency to live. The urgency to love. The urgency to stop postponing what matters. The urgency to forgive yourself for being human. The urgency to appreciate the people who are still here. And the urgency to realize that your own life is happening right now. Not next year. Not when everything becomes perfect. Right now. Maybe that is why these 3 minutes mattered. Not because you were threatened with losing something. But because for a few minutes, you remembered what you already have. A heartbeat. Another morning waiting somewhere ahead. People who need your love. Dreams that still deserve your effort. And memories that nobody can take from you. Carry those memories gently. Carry their love forward. And whenever you miss them, don't only remember the day they left. Remember how beautifully they once existed in your world. Remember the laughter. Remember their eyes. Remember the ridiculous little moments. Remember the love. Then look at the life still standing in front of you. And live it. Live enough for the part of your heart that still carries them. Live boldly. Love deeply. Forgive yourself. Say what matters while there is still time to say it. Because the most powerful message someone you loved could leave behind might not be, "Wait for me." It might simply be, "Keep going." So keep going. Your story still has pages left. And the next one may contain something you never saw coming. And now, the message becomes even more personal. Because there is one thing you still haven't completely released. One memory keeps returning. One moment you replay differently every time. You wonder what would have happened if you had made another choice. If you had called sooner. If you had stayed 5 minutes longer. If you had said the words sitting inside your heart. But hear this carefully. Love is bigger than one unfinished moment. The person you miss was part of an entire chapter of your life, not just the final page. And if they could remind you of anything right now, perhaps it would be this. Remember how I lived, not only how I left. Remember their smile. Remember their laugh. Remember the strange little habits nobody else understood. Remember the moments that made you laugh until your stomach hurt. Remember the conversations you thought you would forget. Those memories survived. And there is another truth waiting behind them. You have changed since they left. You became stronger in ways you never wanted to become strong. You learned how to walk into rooms while carrying invisible sadness. You learned how to smile while missing someone. You learned that grief can suddenly return through a song, a photograph, a familiar smell, or a single name. Yet you continued. That matters. Because there were moments when you thought you couldn't. But you did. And now another chapter is approaching. A chapter where you don't have to erase the past to welcome the future. You can carry both. You can miss someone and still laugh. You can remember them and still make new memories. You can honor yesterday while becoming excited about tomorrow. And perhaps you've been waiting for permission to do exactly that. Here it is. Live. Go somewhere beautiful. Take the photograph. Call the person you keep thinking about. Say the words you keep postponing. Begin the dream you've been afraid to begin. Stop assuming you have unlimited time. Not because you should be frightened of tomorrow. Because today deserves your attention. And there is one more thing. Someone who is still here may need to hear from you. Maybe you've been distant. Maybe life became busy. Maybe pride created silence. Maybe you simply assumed there would always be another opportunity. Don't wait for perfect words. Sometimes 3 simple words are enough. I miss you. I forgive you. Thank you. I'm here. I love you. Because one of life's strangest truths is that we often understand the value of ordinary moments only after they become memories. So create better memories while you still can. And when you think about the person you love in heaven, imagine telling them, I finally understand. I understand that loving you doesn't require me to remain sad forever. I understand that healing doesn't erase you. I understand that moving forward doesn't mean moving away from you. I understand that the love we shared already happened and nothing can undo that. Then imagine them smiling. Not because you've forgotten. Because you finally stopped punishing yourself for surviving. There are still things waiting for you. People you haven't met. Places you haven't seen. Conversations that will change your perspective. Unexpected laughter. Unexpected opportunities. Unexpected mornings when you suddenly realize, I feel okay today. At first, that realization may surprise you. You might even feel guilty. Don't. Peace is not betrayal. Joy is not betrayal. A new beginning is not betrayal. Your heart has room for memory and possibility at the same time. And this is the final revelation. Maybe the urgent message was never about 3 minutes disappearing. Maybe it was about recognizing how precious 3 minutes actually are. 3 minutes can hold an apology. 3 minutes can hold a phone call. 3 minutes can hold a prayer. 3 minutes can hold a hug. 3 minutes can begin reconciliation. 3 minutes can change someone's day. And 3 minutes can remind you that you are still here. Breathing. Choosing. Becoming. Living. So when this message ends, make one decision. Choose life over endless regret. Choose gratitude over guilt. Choose memories over punishment. Choose love over fear. And whenever their absence feels unbearably heavy, remember this. The fact that goodbye hurt so deeply means hello once meant everything. That love was real. That chapter mattered. And nothing about moving forward can take that away. Tonight, look toward your future without feeling that you are abandoning your past. Carry the best parts with you. Their kindness. Their humor. Their courage. Their lessons. Their love. Let those things become part of the way you treat people. Let their memory make you gentler. Let it make you braver. Let it remind you to say what matters before another day disappears. And if you could hear one final sentence from the person you miss, imagine it being this: please don't spend the rest of your life standing beside the door I walked through. Turn around. There is still an entire world behind you. There are people waiting to love you. There are dreams waiting for your courage. There are ordinary days waiting to become beautiful memories. There is still life. Your life. And it deserves to be lived. So wipe your tears when you're ready. Keep the memories. Keep the love. But release the guilt. Then take another step. And another. And another. Because you haven't reached the final page. Your story is still being written. And perhaps the greatest way to honor someone who can no longer create new memories beside you is to make the life they were once part of become something beautiful. Keep going. Keep loving. Keep remembering. And most importantly, keep living.